Live at 6.
We begin tonight with breaking news. It's happening in southeastern North Dakota. Good evening and thank you for joining us.
We received a report of an explosion at the Cargill plant located on County Road 8 north of Wahpeton. We called Cargill, where it was described to be an incident. When we pressed the individual that we were talking to on whether there was an explosion, they wouldn't say. We do have a crew on the way, and we hope to have an update for you as soon as possible. Stay with us at valleynewslive.com.
The Valley News Live storm team is closely watching the weather in parts of the region, and here is a live look at conditions west of Fargo. Our storm chaser is currently heading southwest of Fargo to get a closer look at the storm. Heavy showers will be possible throughout the evening, along with some strong to severe storms.
Let's get right to it. Over to Hutch Johnson, who's watching the storm right now. Hutch?
Thanks, you guys. As we head into the evening hours, many of us could have our first chance at some strong thunderstorms. We're not expecting widespread severe, and the main threat will be gusty winds tonight. But one or two of these storms could possibly produce, because of the spin in the atmosphere, some funnel clouds or possibly a weak tornado. Notice the best chance is to the southwest of Fargo, and that's where our team is focusing our energy this evening. Line of storms all the way from the Maddock area through Jamestown, all the way down towards Ellendale and Oaks right now, having a storm making its way in. And it's this area near Jamestown where storms are on the doorstep now. These are non-severe, just a little lightning, possibly some very small hail with these. The tops of these storms are not reaching very high in the atmosphere, so it's not the deep summer humid type storms that we get, but some shallow convective storms. Oaks, the storm moving near you, has had a little history of some weak rotation. We're keeping our eyes on the skies there. Temperatures this evening are warmest to the south and east and will stay that way. This line, by the way, Mike and Andrea, will be moving through the southwestern portion of our viewing area over the next couple of hours, reaching the valley sometime after 9. And we expect the intensity to wane substantially. We'll keep you updated, and we'll have your hour-by-hour forecast coming up here. Stick around. It's just a few moments away.
We know. Thank you so much. And you can stay up to date on the weather conditions where you are anytime on your smartphone or tablet. Just download the Storm Team weather app to get the latest weather conditions and even follow the radar live. Just search VNL Weather in the App Store.
Another day, another outage caused by weather. That's the latest explanation by Xcel Energy. That makes 7 power outages in 1 month. Xcel says the outage this morning was a pole fire caused by the weather. Many of you have messaged and called us demanding answers on what's going to be done to fix this. Valley News Team's Ashley Bishop took the tough questions to Xcel officials.
Digging, tree trimming, and using infrared technology are just a few of the things being done to reduce the electrical outages in the area. Crews were in Moorhead using infrared cameras to look at the cable lines and poles and check for weak spots in the system, something they did just 2 months ago.
Take a look at all these outages. There have not been a lot of repeat outages, the same amount of customers, and I know that doesn't help. Okay, any outages too many?
Xcel Energy says that 2 of the 7 outages were caused by a bad underground cable, something they are fixing right now. Is your guys' system stable? Is your reliability there?
Yeah, our system is stable. We have a system that is prone to outages based on weather.
It seems like every type of weather that we have is causing issues for you guys. Is daylight going to be the next thing that causes an issue?
I sure hope not. And again, when I talk about weather, that if we could have everything perfect, we think the system would run that way. But we know we're in an exterior environment.
Nesbitt and others from Xcel will present their full plan to reduce outages to the Public Service Commission next week.
So what we're doing is addressing the issues that are critical right now, but we need to make a plan that will address the long term and the reliability that the customers expect.
In Fargo, Ashley Bishop, Valley News Live.
Nesbitt says the causes of the past 7 outages have been underground cable, as Ashley mentioned, along with vegetation, pole fire, lightning, and an animal outage. And as for last Thursday's outage that impacted nearly 7,000 people in North Fargo, Xcel says although it's been 5 days, they're no closer to figuring out what caused it.
Talk about who can go to the bathroom where is everywhere. It centers around transgender men and women using the bathroom where they feel most comfortable. U.S. Attorney General Loretta Lynch says the federal government will do everything it can to protect their rights. Darcy Corbett Hall, a trans woman living in the valley, says it's important for politicians as well as school administrators to support individuals who don't conform to gender norms.
A person knows better, an individual person knows better than anyone else. Government, business owner, religious leaders, what bathroom they're the most comfortable in.
Now, we did reach out to school districts across the valley, and we asked for their bathroom policies concerning transgender students. Their statements can be found on our website at valleynewslive.com.
This Barnes County man is in jail tonight after police say he burglarized businesses and private property. His name hasn't been released yet. In the picture, you can see the man crawling through a window into the East Crossing building near Lake Ashtabula. At this time, the man has not been formally charged.
Crews extinguished a fire at Diversified Welding in West Fargo today. Workers were cutting iron sheet metal in the building when a fire sparked inside the dust collector. No hazardous materials were involved. The damage was mostly contained to the dust collector, and no one was injured.
After it was discovered that current or former students were taking and dealing dangerous drugs in West Fargo high schools, administration at Shanley High School urging parents to get educated and talk with their kids. A letter from Shanley principal Sarah Crary went out to parents saying the school received information about the area drug problem. It adds, "We do not have a reason to suspect students from Shanley or Sullivan are involved, but we know that if we're all more aware and knowledgeable, we can help prevent potential issues." We have the full letter online. To read it, head to valleynewslive.com and click on this story.
People are getting another chance to learn about the ongoing opiate crisis. A free community forum gets underway in about 25 minutes at the Empire Arts Center in Grand Forks. Discussion will focus on the impact of the recent drug crisis in the valley, the impact on kids and families, prevention, treatment, and ways to combat the issue. If you can't make it, we'll have coverage tonight on Valley News Live 10 at 10.
Marcy's Law for North Dakota is a measure that advocates say would strengthen the rights of victims in the state, and the measure could soon be decided by voters. Today, Secretary of State Al Jaeger was presented with more than 44,000 signatures in support of getting the measure on the November ballot. The law aims to make rights such as the right for a victim to be present at court proceedings and the right to restitution a part of North Dakota's Constitution. For more information, head to valleynewslive.com and click on this story.
The federal government is dishing out $50,000 in funding to support research at the University of North Dakota to study the Zika virus. According to North Dakota U.S. Senator Heidi Heitkamp, these federal funds will help a team of researchers at UND investigate if larval nematodes increase the rates of transmission of the Zika virus. That's a parasite that can be found in the blood and is common in Latin America and the Caribbean. If evidence is found that this parasite assists in transmitting the virus, it could provide another way to stop the spread of this virus.
It's Tuesday, and that means it's time for another restaurant report card. Tune in tonight to Valley News Live 10 at 10, and we'll show you which restaurants in West Fargo will be awarded the Clean Plate Award. And remember to like Valley News Live on Facebook. You can follow the latest news, weather, and breaking news updates anytime on your feed. Just search Valley News Live, like our page, and you'll stay informed throughout the entire day.
If you have plans to go fishing this weekend in Minnesota, where you can turn to find out where the travel troubles are.
And from Carrington, south through Jamestown and Lemoore, some thunder shower activity working its way through. We're keeping our eye on the potential for severe weather tonight. Your forecast is next.